Welcome to the Bliss Podcast.
Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Welcome. I'm your host today. My name is Maitreya Rishidas, and we're here with the Mr. Purajit.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome, Purajit. How are you? The founder of the Bhaktivedanta Lives in Sound Society. Jai.
Yes, it feels very good to be the founder of the Bhaktivedanta Lives in Sound Society. I have so much power. Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu is now unboxing a pack of prasadam raisins next to me, and I'm very envious because I don't get any of them.
For you.
No. Oh, wow. This is incredible. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Oh, wow. This is ecstatic.
Mahaprasadam ki
Jai. Mahaprasadam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, welcome to the Bliss Podcast / eating session. What am I going to talk about? Well, first of all, let us just discuss what's going on now. Now we're on a train. Okay, you thought going to the laundromat was crazy. Now we're on a subway in London, traveling. Late night, traveling through London because we were just emptying our temple.
This is a Northern Line train via Bank terminating at Morden.
You hear that? We're going to Morden. So we were just emptying our temple because we were kicked out of our temple. Yes. We were kicked out of our temple because it wasn't actually fit to live. Our little bhajan kotir was not legal, and we didn't know that. But now we've been forced to move.
We didn't do anything illegal.
We didn't do anything illegal. Of course, being a Hare Krishna is very disturbing to a lot of people.
It was the landlord. He was doing something illegal, and that's why we had to go.
Yeah.
Not that we did anything illegal.
No. Okay. There's a raisin now. There's a raisin situation going on. I think one just fell in my bee bag.
You have done something unreasonable.
Almost choked on my raisins. Okay, so yes, we got kicked out. Now we're looking for a new place. If you've been following us. So now we just emptied our temple. Okay, you're gonna have to excuse me because this train is very loud. It screams like a real demon. So that's coming up. Brace yourself. If you're wearing earbuds, please turn the volume on your computer down because your ear is about to get busted. So we were emptying the place, and we threw out a lot of our stuff. We're meant to be monks, so we're meant to travel. We're actually meant to have not very much stuff at all, but somehow or other we had accumulated some things. Here in London it's very cold, so we had lots of warm clothing, but we tossed all that out, and we minimized the amount of stuff by about half, so that was kind of nice.
The next station is Hendon Central.
Live simply, think highly. That is the philosophy. You don't need very much stuff, actually. People are now they're over accumulating so many things they don't really need.
Why don't you talk about our good friends, our Bliss family, who have supported us so nicely by giving so many donations so we can rent our new temple.
Yeah, that's a good one. So there are many nice people who support us through thick and thin, and they are giving, well, I'm just going to name them, some ones that come to my mind. All of the ones that come to my mind: Henrik, Prabhu, Thomas, Seema, Pete Petikeshna, Prabhu just brought up a good point that actually people who are listening to this podcast are the supporters. So if you supported us, if you gave a donation, even if you gave us some moral support, thank you tremendously. Because the reason we're able to survive, especially now during the lockdown, is because of the good mercy of all the nice devotees, and also non-devotees, who give whatever they can from their heart so that we can continue. And now we are utilizing that fund to get a new temple in London. This will be our second new temple podcast. We've been moving from temple to temple all across Europe, mostly because of this COVID situation is causing so much disruption. And we're like, for various circumstances, we're forced to move. First we came from Gibraltar to the UK, so we could start the preaching before the borders locked down. And Gibraltar was a very nice place, but not so good for preaching. Of course, the people there were nice and the book distribution went on, but we think London is better. So now we're going in all places of London. We just got kicked out of our last place, and the place before that was it was a shared area, so it was also not so pucker for a temple. If they're still listening, I'm very sorry if you have to hear this, because apparently our previous roommates were listening to our podcast for a little while there. But we were cooking for Krishna at a temple where people were cooking meat. So it wasn't so first class. But since then, actually all the way back to Gibraltar, we've had devotees who have been supporting us the whole time. And Harley David Heiser also rings to mind, because he's been also morally supporting us, staying on this podcast since the very beginning, the first incarnation of this podcast. So thank you, Harley. Yeah, we have a lot of cool things going on now in the Bliss. If you're hearing this podcast for the first time and you haven't gone to all of our various contents, we have morning live streams, Srimad Bhagavatam classes and Bhagavad Gita classes in the evening sometimes, and Zoom calls where all the devotees meet and have nice discussions on Srila Prabhupada's books. And we have a Bliss Family Facebook group where there's all kinds of discussions going on all day, and videos and humor and memes, and people's deity altars are there also posted. So it's very exciting. You should go check it out. Sorry, mate, I don't have any.
Want to take raisins? Oh yeah, go for it.
Very nice. So that was very nice. We just distributed prasadam on the train. Puri just very nicely gave some raisins to a young man. So I hope it's not too loud. This train is obnoxiously loud, but the sound of kirtan is louder. So there are many things going on now in terms of moving to this temple. As I mentioned, we'd have a bit of a difficulty with the landlord. She forced us out. Oh my goodness. Okay, I had to put the podcast on a pause there because that was way too loud. We're going through the lower planetary systems there. So now we had some difficulty with the landlord. We were forced out of the place, like I mentioned, and after being forced out of the place, very short notice, I have to say, overnight, we were forced to remove ourselves. Otherwise the council would have come and fined the landlords like £20,000. That's what I heard from Seema Mataji. She has a friend who's on the Harrow, which is a town, kind of like a borough here in London, the Harrow Housing Commission. So she told me there's £20,000 plus it goes on your record or whatever, I don't know, something like that. And the person would have come and seen that we lived there in this illegal place, and we would have been removed. So we left voluntarily, of course, and then we were moving from hotel to hotel. And then actually our landlord did a little flip of the tables on us and then we were using the place as kind of like a storage for our books and other belongings. So then the landlady, she actually did a flippity-doo on us and made us pay quite a large fee to keep our things there in this illegal residence after kicking us out. So I told this to Seema Mataji. Seema Mataji is a very nice lady, very nice Mataji, who's helping us all the time, always arranging, hooking us up with different contacts. Just like today, she hooked us up with a nice gentleman called Tiresh. So Tiresh, he helped us with his van. We packed all the books in his van today, and he drove that off to a storage facility somewhere in London. So that was very, very helpful. Otherwise we would have had to rent a van and all kinds of crazy things. It would have been a real trouble, but it was very smooth. Just yesterday we arranged the whole thing, and then today it happened, and no off without a hitch, as they say. But after Seema Mataji arranged this thing, I told her about what happened, and she very valiantly volunteered.
Nishinga de Pav.
Yeah, Nishinga de Pav. She came and she wanted to eat her. To quote, she would eat her alive. The landlady. So Seema Mataji was in the Kshatriya spirit and wanted to defend us, set things straight. So we have an ace up the sleeve if the landlady tries to pull any more tricks. Seema Mataji is going to come on the picture, on the scene, and sort things out, set things straight. So it's still going on, the moving process. Seema Mataji is going to help us tomorrow with her car, hopefully, if everything goes to plan, and then we'll be able to cut this business off and move on to the next place. Speaking of which, we're now negotiating with the landlord. We sent the email with all of our credentials there to her, so hopefully she's going to get back to us
The next station is Chalk Farm.
with a positive response. I think we sent everything required, everything. We answered all her questions, and we, by the mercy of the devotees, maybe we have enough to impress her. So that's going on, and then we'll be able to go there in May if everything goes according to plan. That's when it's available to move into, May 5th. And then when we like to bring some devotees over to London, just like Bhaktanes Prabhu, he would like to come. Bhaktanes is a very nice devotee who's part of our community. If you watch our live streams, I'm sure you've seen him. He's always writing very nice comments, good realizations, churning the nectar of His Grace Purja Prabhu's classes and asking good questions, and also making very nice content, art, propaganda, memes, advertisements. So look out for Bhaktanes. He's up on the rise in our Bliss community, always contributing. And so it's very nice to have all these nice devotees there. Also Bhaktanes and Aliyaj Prabhu, that we have some projects now also in up and coming projects, Bliss projects that are happening, being put together. One of which is Bhaktanes Prabhu and Aliyaj Prabhu, two Slovenian boys. And just on a side note, if I may do a sidetrack at this junction, the country of Slovenia is an extremely pious country. I don't know what exactly happened there, but I think some Brahmanas from Bharatavarsha, they stayed there in Slovenia, and the remnants of the culture there, because it's very pious, and there are many nice devotees coming out of Slovenia Varsha. Seriously, there's like 10 devotees now who are following the Bliss content and participating, so that's really nice. There's gonna be a Bliss Slovenia coming up soon. Watch out.
That's because of the founder Acharya Ini, Sabina Mataji.
Ah, right.
She's the founder Acharya Ini. Acharya Ini.
I don't know if it's okay to say here on the podcast. This is a confidential section. Dun, 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 confidential section of the Bliss podcast. But the temples there in Slovenia of certain organizations are actually getting worried that Sabina is stealing all their sangha. Not because of critical propaganda, but just because of her shining example and Shakti. Devotees are being inspired, and they're coming to the Bliss live streams and the Bliss community. So it's very amazing. Sabina Mataji is really empowered there. Her along with Mackenshaw Prabhu, they're also really participating there on the live streams, tagging people like anything. Like if you have come in contact one time with the Bliss, watch out, you're going to get tagged for the live stream. Mackenshaw and Sabina, they won't let you go.
You'll get tagged for life.
You've signed a eternal contract if you got in touch with us. It's not a bad thing though. It's very nice if you come. You can hear and you can learn Srimad Bhagavatam from His Grace Purja Prabhu. Very nice. All the devotees are appreciating. So anyway, the project, I go off on a little bit of a tangent there. The project that the Aliaj Prabhu and Bhaktanes Prabhu are working on is a Bliss musical. Yeah, we're doing a musical. Well, I'm not doing a musical. I have nothing to do with it, pretty much. I just say this is a nice song. When Purja Prabhu makes a nice song. But there are many nice songs. I don't know if we released them anywhere. We haven't released any of these songs. They're all exclusive. You're about to get a wave of sound, as Vishnujan Maharaj says.
We played them on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there were a series of podcasts that Purja Prabhu did when I was... Thank Krishna, I was gone from the podcast and everyone had a nice break. For a couple months while I was in the UK looking for a space, Purja Prabhu, there's a series of podcasts where the songs are teased there. So if you like, you can go and listen to those podcasts. And I'm not going to tell you which ones they are, because then you can listen to all of them.
When you were gone, when you were not on the podcast, I was doing the podcast alone, and there was an increase of 1 viewer. And that was Maitreya Rishi.
That was a very funny joke. It's really loud. I really hope everyone can actually hear what we're saying.
Charing Cross from Platform 2, Victoria Line and National Rail Services.
So,
Upon arrival, the last set of doors will not open. Customers in the last carriage, please move towards the front doors to leave the train.
the doors will not open. You'll be locked in for eternity. So, okay, now I've totally lost track. Okay, the musical. So please go back and listen to those songs. They're very ecstatic. I personally like Krishna is God. That's my favorite song. You can let me know in the comment section which is your favorite song from the Bliss musical up and coming.
Where are they? Where are these songs?
No, I said I'm not going to tell people, because then they're going to go back and listen to all the podcasts to try and find which podcasts have the songs. There's trickery on my half. So, yeah, Aliaj, yes?
They'll be right now they're listening to the 300 hours to fish out that song, right?
Yeah, they're going to be listening to all the podcasts simultaneously to try and find which ones have the song in them. So Aliaj and Bhaktanes Prabhu, they are actually recording the script for this movie behind the musical.
The people, they go to the cell phone store where they have 300 cell phones and they play each episode from one cell phone.
They go to Soho Square in London with all those TV screens. Piccadilly Circus, you know, with all those TV screens, and they play all Bliss podcasts on the TV screen. That would be wow. Someone must try this. Oh. Where are we coming from? We're coming from Edgware. Okay, Moorgate. So we got off in 3 stops.
Change here for Circle, Hammersmith City, Metropolitan, Piccadilly, and
If you miss a stop in London,
National
you might end up on the other side of the country because London is so humongous. You don't want to make a mistake on the subway. So Ali Ashbabu, Mukta Ashbabu, they're working on this movie. It's not a movie. I keep on saying movie. It's not at all a movie. Movie indicates that it implies that it would be you'd see something moving, but it's not like that. The audio is moving. It's an audio thing. An audio play. So that was very nice. I was hearing the recording with Purja Prabhu.
It is an audio movie.
Audio movie. So I was hearing the audio being recorded, and I have to say kudos to Bhaktanes and Ali Ashbabu because they even brought in a sound recorder, professional. They engaged other nice souls in the service of Krishna. So professional, very nicely done.
Yes, we also we're negotiating with my friend Armand, who is a professional voice actor from Montreal, from Canada. He also agreed to participate. He's gonna play a father or one of the characters. And then we have some other people who promised to participate. And it's still open. The other devotees can also, if they feel inspired to do some voice acting, they can contact me and I can write a role for them.
Yeah, it's nice. The voice acting is kind of it's a very dynamic saver. I don't know if we have any roles apart from what Bhaktanes and Ali Ashbabu have taken up. Are any of the other roles taken up? I think some people have taken up the other roles, correct?
Yeah, we have many roles there in that musical. Yeah.
So please contact us, and you can get involved with many of the projects that we're doing. So that's going to be a fun one. There may even be a movie made at some point. I don't want to promise anything because we have many things going on all the time and things are always changing. But at some point there may be a movie, animated or live action, I don't know.
For the time being, we're looking for apartments.
We're trying to be not homeless. That's our objective.
Right now we're solving that problem, but Hollywood movie with £3 million budget.
And Johnny Depp playing Krishna.
Oh, Johnny Depp, he must be there. He must be chanting 60 rounds before he can play any.
Yeah. Maybe we can get Clinton. I think Clinton would be a good actor.
Where is Clinton?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of regret that we never got back in touch with Clinton. Anyway, maybe we'll see him again. So, speaking of which, in terms of projects that we're working on, another one is, if you've been following us, you've been hearing me go on about these wonderful ebooks that His Grace Purja Prabhu is making. These are like revolutionary ideas. It is a revolutionary concept. We're compiling. I'm not compiling. His Grace Purja Prabhu is compiling quotes, the Vani of Srila Prabhupada, on certain subject matters that are specific. For example, teachings of Lord Buddha is everything that Srila Prabhupada ever said about Lord Buddha, and it's organized into the story of Lord Buddha, his teachings from the Vedic point of view, and then how it connects with Lord Chaitanya and how these different incarnations, Lord Buddha, Shankaracharya, how they were placed strategically by Krishna so that people could be gradually elevated to come to pure Krishna consciousness. And that's the arc, the story arc of the book. So it's a unique contribution because Srila Prabhupada never explains the whole concept so elaborately in one book. or one body of Vani that he directly spoke, but he said all of these things. And the Siddhanta, the conclusion, is there in Prabhupada's books. It's just never been compiled in this way before. So you get all the compound nectar. That's a kind of a cool phrase I just came up with for these books. You get the compound nectar of a certain subject that Prabhupada touches on, and you get all of that together in one of these books. So that's Teachings of Lord Buddha, and sorry, is this Moorgate?
Gold Street.
Yeah, that's the next one. Is Moorgate. So we're gonna get off the train in just a moment. Yeah. So it's gonna be a little difficult for me to record actually now that I think about it, but we're gonna continue.
Record it getting off.
Oh, certainly.
That getting off you can record also.
Oh, certainly. I can record. I can go on recording, just like Prabhupada says to Allen Ginsberg. Oh, I can go on speaking. So,
Are you Prabhupada?
no, I just like.
Slap on the face immediately. Imitate it.
So, I imitate because I'm a fan of Prabhupada, not because I want to be Prabhupada. So the thing is that this book, Teachings of Lord Buddha, we want to print it and we want to distribute it all across the world so that people can get in touch with Prabhupada. Okay, here's Moorgate. Here we get off.
And Metropolitan lines and National Rail service.
The thinking behind this book is that we do a thing called book distribution, and it's a service that Srila Prabhupada very geniusly created. This service was never done before in the history of Vaishnavism, but it kind of was in one sense. Let me explain. So, in the Vedic era, the brahmacharis, or the celibate students who were living under the guidance of the spiritual master, they would have to go out and beg for funds. They would have to go and beg foodstuffs, and then they would give everything to the spiritual master, and in this way they would learn humility. Yes, sorry, I have to put on the face diaper. The face diaper I have to put on.
I have a diaper, look.
You have a very nice face diaper. So now my face diaper is on and equipped and secure on my face. Oh my goodness, we have to go up so many stairs here in the London Underground. Okay, do you know where we're going, Prabhu? Do you remember what it was? Hammersmith line, eastbound Barking. Okay. Oh boy, such a heavy bag. This is the portion of the podcast where my tray struggles with a huge bag. And my dhoti catches underneath my shoes and it always pulls down to expose my coppin in the London subway. Okay, Hammersmith and City is this way, to the right. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Oh my goodness. And the face diaper, I can't even breathe. I'm eating my face diaper. Eating my face diaper.
Diaper.
Okay, it's meant to protect you, this face mask, but actually it might kill me.
They call it a face mask, but actually it's a diaper.
Okay, so, oh boy, we're really deep underground, huh? This is wild. So yeah, we're almost in Yamaluka. Like the commies, they dug this far underground just so they could travel hundreds of miles to work hard.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So, impromptu kirtan in the London subway. I bet you never heard that before. So, okay, I've totally lost track. Okay, the brahmachari, he's collecting funds, begging from door to door. But that doesn't work in the Western world. The Westerners This is Hammersmith and City down this way, Peru. The Westerners, they won't do this. It will leave a bad impression, and they won't give anything. They won't give any donation. They need something in return, because generally the Westerners are more materialistic than the Vedic culture of ancient India. So Srila Prabhupada, in order to create a source of income for all the temples, made this wonderful thing called book distribution. And the way it works is that it's kind of in the title. Srila Prabhupada wrote all these wonderful transcendental literatures, and the devotees go and they take big boxes of them and they go on the street and they distribute them in large quantities, and in this way we go and we beg, we try and convince people to take the books, and they also can give a donation by which we maintain the temples and print more books, and at the same time spread the teachings of Krishna consciousness. Yes, Prabhu?
Why don't we make a photograph of this? Then you can put it on the thumbnail.
On the
This billboard is it's a razor, but it's orange.
You have to go back down.
Let's do it here.
There may be another.
Make a selfie.
Okay. Oh, it depends how far down it is. We could just leave the. Well.
I'll make shot of you.
Okay.
Make it like you're recording. Look at me, Prabhu. Be more excited,
Hare Krishna.
but you have to look in the look into the camera. I must be excited, almost crazy.
But what am I doing with my hand? I mean, how can I?
Whatever.
recording?
Doesn't matter.
I have a better idea. We should find somewhere like this. Hold on, let's just figure out where.
Yeah, I made a few you can choose.
Okay. But we're still recording the podcast, Prabhu.
Really?
Yeah, the whole time it was recording. I'm sorry. You just heard the behind the scenes inadvertently.
I made a few shots, so you can choose which one you want on the thumbnail.
Okay. So there you go. You just got a live recording of us making the thumbnail for this podcast. I have no idea where we are. Northern Line. Wait, what were we doing?
Moorgate.
West. It's eastbound toward Barking. So, where's the eastbound line? This is the westbound platform. That's the eastbound platform over there. All right. So Srila Prabhupada made this book distribution system, and when we're out on the street distributing books, we get many different kinds of people, and they give different kinds of lines, but generally the lines they give are quite common. And one of the lines we often get is, because we're distributing books in the oh boy, we have to cross over this whole thing, huh? Because we're dressed in a Bengali style of dress called a dhoti.
That's Bengali.
Yeah. And a kurta. Huh?
That's Vaikuntha.
Vaikuntha.
It's a Vaikuntha dress.
I believe the material origin is Bengal. But
No, that's Vaikuntha.
okay.
That's not Bengali, that's Vaikuntha.
Okay. So this dress is straight out of the spiritual world. And when people see it, they think that we are Buddhists. So they often ask, "Are you guys Buddhists?" And we of course say, "No, we're Hare Krishnas." This is really a very heavy bag. Just one moment. I have to get this bag up the stairs. Dehanasminyata dehe. Even not this body. Okay. Eastbound platform. Alright, so. Yes, so then when they ask us, we have nothing really to say, apart from Hare Krishna, which is the most important thing, of course.
For your safety and the safety of all of our customers, please stand behind the yellow line at all times.
So we decided, or His Grace Pujapuri came up with a nice idea. Why not make a book about Lord Buddha, from all the things that Srila Prabhupada has to say about Lord Buddha, and then when people ask this question, we can say, yes, and here we have a nice book, please take it. And then we have a whole new avenue of people who are more willing to take the books and hear from Srila Prabhupada, which is the perfection of life. If you hear from a pure devotee about Krishna, the supreme lovable object, supreme lovable person, goal of life, if you hear from a pure devotee, you become spiritualized. So that's why we're distributing the books to spread this movement. And if people take this book because of the attractive title, based on a more mainstream form of meditation and yoga, then they're going to get benefited. It's kind of cool because it's kind of like the transcendental trickery of Lord Buddha himself. Lord Buddha, he came to trick people who were atheistic and also abusing the Vedic injunctions. He came to trick them to take up to pious life. He told them to reject the Vedas and try to reach nirvana, and in this way they would stop the animal killing that they were doing in the name of Vedic sacrifices. So Krishna incarnated as Lord Buddha and used this trickery, transcendental trickery, to help people. And in the same way we trick people into thinking this is a book about Buddhism when actually it's a book about Lord Chaitanya. So yeah, that's the book, and we would like to make it very pucka for Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada. And the way we want to do that is we want to make paintings, because if you've ever read Srila Prabhupada's books, they're replete. Wait, is this going?
This is Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Liverpool.
Hold on, I have to check if this is the right. Yeah. I don't know if this is the right line. Well, eastbound towards Berkeley, no? Yeah, we're not on the right train. So that's that. We have to get up at the next station. Anyway, if you've read Prabhupada's books, you will have noticed that Prabhupada's books have these wonderful paintings, these transcendental depictions of Krishna's pastimes, Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, the devotees, and the various philosophical concepts in the book. They've been illustrated and visualized. And there's different painting styles in the books, and each book, depending on the size of the book, like the Bhagavatam has 2 sets of 10 paintings, and if I'm not mistaken, Bhagavatam has 2 sets of 10 paintings in the book, right? More.
No,
Even more.
I don't think so.
Not so much.
5?
Only 5 paintings.
We're getting off?
Yeah. Okay, so I was wrong. Anyway, there are lots of paintings in Srila Prabhupada's books. They're painted by the devotees in the early times, and also continuing. They're a big selling point of the book.
For the new Bhagavatam.
Hold on, Prabhu, just one moment. Sorry, it's a little difficult to do this recording at the same time because we have to navigate through the labyrinth of the London Underground. There's a labyrinth. Okay, this is Hammersmith eastbound platform, so there is going to be a train that's going to Barking here eventually. It's just not the one we were on. Okay, so you were saying, Prabhu?
Of course, the new Bhagavatam that we purchased recently, so many pictures, and it's the same pictures in every volume.
Yeah, that was a bit of a disappointment, I have to say. But anyway, if you go and read these original Bhagavatams, or if you go and read Bhagavad Gita or whatever, any of Srila Prabhupada's books, they all have these nice paintings in them, and they're a huge selling point on the street. People love the paintings, and you can oftentimes relate the different lines. There are different mantras that we use to grab people's attention and sell them the book. Hammersmith to Barking. Okay, this is our train. So we use these different mantras, and sometimes the mantras can relate to the painting, so it's very effective. When they combine together, people are really attracted to the books, and it's like an irresistible 1-2 combo, and people oftentimes pick up the book because of the paintings. So yeah, we do like that. So because the paintings are such an important part of Srila Prabhupada's books, we thought it was important that when we also make a book, oh boy. And now the bedding I was just calling for Bridge and Brew just came unloose. So if we could just okay, that was a little interruption. Now we're on the train heading toward East Ham. Jai! Finally. It takes like 2 hours to get to our previous temple. How huge this city is. So yeah, we want to make paintings for the teachings of Lord Buddha, and that will make it.
We want to make the you and me. We're gonna make paintings.
Yeah, I mean, I was drawing like stick figures very nicely when I was a child. No, not we want to make. We want them to be there, and so we are asking devotees if they are painters and if they can do this project for us. And we found a very nice Mataji who is into Krishna paintings, not just into paintings, she does them. Her name is Hannah Gill, otherwise known as Krishna Loka. Maybe you've seen her on Facebook. She's quite popular. She does very unique and very beautiful Disney-style paintings of Krishna and Krishna's associates and Krishna's pastimes. And Lord Chaitanya also. There's a very nice one of Lord Chaitanya. So you can go check out her Facebook page, Krishna Loka Creations, and you can see she does all these amazing paintings on an iPad, which I find quite amazing because an iPad is, as far as I know, not so dynamic compared to the other digital painting apparati, but she does like that. We had a very nice call with her a couple of days ago. Some nice Krishna Katha. She's a very nice devotee, open-minded. And we discussed these different these paintings that we'd like to do, and she seems very enthusiastic about the bliss and the project, and we're moving forward now with even signing a contract and ironing out the details. So yeah, this book is coming together, and in the near future we're going to have hopefully Krishna Loka painting these 10 paintings for our Teachings of Lord Buddha book. So I just have to see where East Ham is here on the map so we don't mess up.
The next station is...
Oh boy, it's really far. Okay, so yeah, so Krishna Loka, very nice. She had a I don't know if it's okay to say, well, she said it on an interview already. She had a kind of a hippie background, like most of us in Bliss. So we immediately related with Mataji, and yeah, we're discussing many things. She's checking out our Bliss content. Maybe she'll be on the live streams soon.
Maybe she's listening to this right now.
Whoa, that's trippy. Inception, podcastception, Blissception. yeah, so thank you, Krishna Loka, for getting in contact with us and for possibly agreeing to doing these paintings.
I don't think that's how she is calling herself, Krishna Loka. That's just the name of her website. I don't think her name is Krishna Loka.
I think that's her, like her, how do you say, like that's her, it's not her devotee name.
Project name.
It's like how she goes as a painter, as an artist, as far as I understand.
No, I don't think so. No. I don't know.
So thank you, and be on the lookout for this exciting and upcoming project. So yeah, thank you for listening to the podcast. Now we're going to be heading towards our stop, so I think we can pretty much end this here. This was basically just an update on everything Bliss. And thank you for those who made this podcast possible. We're going to go ahead and name them. I tried to do that earlier, but I was a little distracted. So, yes, some people I remember, some devotees. James Peru, James Gallagher, a very nice devotee from Scotland, up north of here. He gave 2 donations, actually, I think. As far as I know, he gave 2 donations in a couple of days. So thank you, James. Thank you, Lynn. Lynn is a very nice lady from the Isle of Gibraltar, who we met on book distribution. She was doing fasting. She was fasting from everything, totally dry, and I think water fasting for 8 days when we met her on the street. And we had also just been fasting, so we connected on that platform. And she's a very nice lady. She's always communicative and supporting what we do. So thank you, Lynn, for giving a donation and for all your other donations that you've given. Also, Vivi from, you said Finland? Finland, thank you, Vivi.
And there was a bunch of
and there were many anonymous donations also. So thank you to those beautiful anonymous souls. I can only assume that you're beautiful because you're anonymous. No, all souls are beautiful, of course. But thank you very much for donating to our Just Giving platform. Also, just before I forget, a new devotee who came to our live stream a couple of days ago, Krishna Ravi Shankar from Dubai. Thank you, Prabhu, for donating. Thank you for convincing your uncle to donate. That was very nice of you. And Bhakti MJ, very nice devotee from New York, the Big Apple. He gave very generous donations, so thank you, Prabhu, and thank you for coming to the live streams. It's nice to see you here. You're always asking nice questions. Thank you for joining the Bliss family.
He actually came from your previous podcast.
Yeah.
Why Worship Krishna?
Right. Actually, I just released that podcast, Why Worship Krishna, and he just found it on his recommendations. So that was very encouraging that YouTube is actually allowing these podcasts to go around and people are like just finding them without us propagating them. That's very nice, very encouraging, because we were giving out. I don't know if anyone came like that from the podcast. I think Bhakti MJ, you were the first devotee who came through the podcast, just being there on YouTube.
Then we have Thomas, who became our Patreon. Thomas is a very nice devotee.
He's also giving donations on other platforms other than Patreon.
From Sweden. Yeah, he's joining our Zoom sessions where we talk about Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, and he liked the Hansa Dutta interview. Very nice.
Yeah, very nice devotee. We're discussing with him always. I already mentioned Henrik Prabhu, but I mention him again because he's a very nice devotee. Thank you, Henrik Prabhu. Also, Bart Prabhu, very nice. The father of our Brahm. Brahm is sometimes on the live streams giving contributions. So his father is also birds of a feather flock together. And what is the other? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Bart is a very nice devotee, and so is Brahm. So thank you. Also, Richard Fedorko from up north. Thank you, Richard. You've also been attending the live streams. It's very nice to see you, Prabhu, and thank you for taking an interest in what we do and for your generous donations. Rina Rathod, thank you, Rina. Thank you, Mataji. Rina has 2 very nice daughters who are reciting Bhagavad Gita shlokas way better than I ever could, and it's a real pleasure for the devotees. So thank you, Rina, for encouraging your daughters to chant the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, and thank you for coming to our live stream events and for donating.
And then we have a devotee, Sean, who very kindly shared our Just Giving campaign. If you want to donate, that's where we are located on the internet, where you can donate. justgiving.com/bliss devotees, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So you can find the link in the downstairs. Downstairs under the description.
So I really hope I'm not missing anyone, and if I am, please forgive me for my offenses. I don't do it intentionally. It's just there are so many nice devotees who support us. It's difficult to keep a track in this circumstance. We're on the train in London on the subway, but thank you very much for helping us continue doing what we do, and for saving us from being homeless. Krishna is manifesting so much mercy through you, Prabhus and Matajis. Also Sabina Mataji, she also gave a donation. Hari Krishna, thank you Krishna. Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Thank you Krishna for the remembrance. So thank you Sabina and Makanchor Prabhu, our Grihasta couple, for donating to us. It was very nice of you to do that. I think that's about all. Please stay tuned for the next podcast. Please chant Hare Krishna, and please read Srila Prabhupada's books.
Please keep fingers crossed so Nana will give us the place.
Yes. Please pray to Krishna, everybody. Alright, so Hare Krishna, thank you for listening, and thank you for dealing with this crazy podcast setting of London Underground. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.